just every single game it's locked in. And honestly, they could. It's still a safe pick. Honestly, Edith is just in a position right now where there's always going to be value in that pick. You can pick it up 4 games in a row, and it's still a threat, still something that you have to deal with. For E7, it would be interesting if they change things up here, though, as they're facing that match point and losing this opportunity to see the world. But there they go. Edith locked in already. Good answer. They take the Grok instead. They want to give that over to Zorn, so Grok Edith is enough tankiness and durability in the front line that they can kind of base the rest of the lineup around this already. So I'm wondering how HomeBois will respond to this.
We were coming into the lineup, or coming into this game, this match, this grand final, to see who makes it to MSC 2024 main stage with the same thought in mind, I feel, and the same opinion. Roger, amazing first pick, but now we see the Cho and the Ling before the Roger. We see the Edith and the Grok and the Valentina before the Roger. It seems now the trend is you pick Roger. Roger is an auto lose so far, right? HomeBois game number 2 picked up the Roger, lost. E7 on game 3 picked up the Roger and lost as well. Roger is standing at a 0% win rate here in this series.
This is interesting. So yeah, HomeBois goes with the Ling again. The Cho is there.
Signature.
And you mentioned this earlier, right? I think you did say that it was like an unofficial Savage previous game, right? Like I'm pretty sure that's the case. We'll have to.
Technically, it was official because the card still went through, but the game ended before it went through.
Official.
So it's an official Savage. Shout out to Chibi, by the way, for getting an official Savage. I thought at that point, like, Savage, no Savage.
Yeah.
The game ended.
But the game ended, I don't know, man. They might have to bust up some of these healths on the base, I think, at some point, because it goes down so fast right now with the course of things. But there's the Lunox pick.
There you go.
Lunox pick is going to come through, and we know that this was banned out previously. This is also a great pick for Chan. Loves this hero. This might be exactly what they need to hopefully extend to a Game 5 ahead of them for Entity7. Now that we get through the second phase of the bans, we're going to have to see what Entity7 wants to take out. Again, gold lane option is not picked up just yet for HomeBois. And I'm not sure if they'll actually ban out a Mincetar, if that's something they're going to go for. But interestingly enough, they're going to take out the Lapu Lapu instead. A hero that even now I would say is niche to certain teams. Some teams don't pick up the Lapu Lapu at all, and some teams love it. Right? But Julian is going to be the answer. Oh, there we go. Chibi. He officially got the Savage in the last game of the series. This marks the first Savage of the Mid-Season Cup 2024. So, man, wild cards, we've been seeing the Maniacs multiple.
Yahiko got 3?
Yahiko got 3. Well, Chibi is the first one to get the Savage here. Makes me wonder. We see this stuff this early on, man. What are we going to see in the group stage? Like, how many Maniacs are possible Savages? With the way the team fights are going, how many are we going to see?
I think we're going to see a lot, but it just sucks to see the first Savage go that way. It wasn't even, even hyped up because, it didn't come up.
That's true.
It's okay. It's okay. Now we get the Roger ban. By the way, for E7, they were like, all right, they kind of listened to, or maybe they already had this thought as well, but the Grok and the Mincetar was definitely the biggest problem for them in the previous game. So the fact now that they banned out the Mincetar, they've picked up the Grok, denying it away from HomeBois. Is this the way to go? Now with the first pick on the red side, Marksman, still up for grabs. They can go for, with no Roger, no Claude, no Moskov. This is actually kind of tough now. I mean, we've seen the carry. Usually the carry does get picked up, but the carry has been auto-lose too so far.
Carry hasn't had a good time, yeah. Clint, maybe?
The Clint has been doing good. I think this is a bit unfortunate, though, for E7 if they go for the Clint. Both the Ling and the Cho.
Yeah.
Be very happy to go up against that hero that can usually always just go for the Flicker. No other battle spell. It is still going to be the Clint, so still relying on the Edith and the Grok to disengage for
cover. He's got a 100% win rate,
One-time pick? Was that one time?
One-time pick.
Yeah,
taking the high noon, baby.
I mean, for Chan, too. 2 times picked up the Lunox, and it's an 100% win rate.
So this is like, in a way for Entity7, I feel like also just comfort in a way for the hero picks so far. And actually, just with this, they're locked in terms of damage profile. Got good physical. I think people sleep on the fact that how much damage Clint can actually do. And also, Lunox is Lunox. Like, she just pumps out damage with the Chaos Bolts.
Oh, there you go.
There it is. I mentioned this earlier. Nets is a Bruno player, loves the Bruno, and is one of the few players that brings this hero out. So he goes and picks up the Bruno, and then the Trizzle's last pick here for HomeBois. So interesting. Also another debut. Man, how many? Whoa. And a Karina. How many debut picks have we seen through the wild card alone? My goodness. All right, interesting way to kind of round this out also for Entity7. That even furthers it, man. Like I was saying, their damage profile is great. Well, now they add a little true damage, of course, to that as well with the Karina.
That's interesting. The fact that now they have so many layers of damage. They technically have 4 damage dealers in their composition, right? That's a Karina, a Lunox, an Edith, and a Clint. And for HomeBois, it's the same.
Yeah.
They have a Bruno, Terizla, Valentina, and Ling. I think me and LaFell were always saying this, but the team that has more damage output usually comes out on top in the meta. And for both teams, they are really banking on the damage output.
5 seconds till the end.
Without further ado, nice to take us to game number 4.
Well, we're going to jump into the land of Dawn, possibly for the last time, unless Entity7 can extend the series to game number 5. HomeBois are looking to lock in that slot to MSC at 2024 group stage. Can they do it with this lineup? Signature picks all around. Entity7 will have to do something great here to take it further. Already mid lane though. Zorn should be fine. This is one of the interesting things with the Cho currently too. Gets a little bit of extra damage on those basic attacks. 180% rather. Look at him just battling out with Erwin.
The passive just constantly being known. Now Erwin might be forced to flicker, and he does.
Oh, man.
Udil walks up or dashes up, deal that damage to force the flicker out, and Marquinhos even is taking a bit of punishment now. Oh, 3 swings of that hammer.
Oh,
mid lane, Chan, force the flicker too. They're burning flickers very early on.
2 flickers down already for Entity7, and this is what I was saying with the Cho pick, man. Concussive Blast with that new passive there from Cho, actually pumping out 180% plus damage on that basic attack, man. It's surprising how much damage he can actually do, and that's what they're feeling right now. Already Chibi level 4. He's going to be kind of pushed out of the jungle here, but he wants that. Goes and pops the Tempest of Blades.
Ooh. Goes in for the Divine Blades as well. Just needs one more and goes out with a Finch Poise. Chibi claims another first blood. How many first bloods has he taken now?
That's just crazy, man. I mean, the fact that he was 1v2, wanted to get that little XP camp, gets it, and then gets a kill under the tier 2 tower versus 2 members. That is the power right now of Ling, and I'm sure, like I said, a lot of people out there for the Assassins are rejoicing. Chan doesn't have the flicker here, so gonna have to be a little bit careful. We'll heal back up, and now with this turtle now spawning, and a little lead for HomeBois to work around with. Zorn, go ahead and do what Zorn does best. Taking the attention here of Entity7 and just showing face, but it looks like everybody rotating except for the gold laners for this turtle. Udil holding on to that Primal Wrath himself. And Entity7 still waiting, on this level 4 for Erwin. Doesn't have the wild charge available. They might just call this one off.
It does seem like they have no ways to actually enter around the turtle, and Chibi will be able to pick this up for free. Does use the Retribution still, up top by the way. In this lane, it's Nets who's actually winning it out in the trades.
Yep, it's Bruno's just that pick. I mean, Bruno is still a good quality pick in the sense that he also just destroys turrets pretty quickly. And, his ultimate isn't amazing or anything, but the amount of just damage that he has, let's take a look at the, we need a Zorn cam or a Zorn
We need a TP
here.
counter, bro.
We need a counter here. But going back to it, Bruno, great solid pick, especially once you get a couple items locked in. And once again, go ahead and grab the MSC pass for you guys here. In game. Oh,
that's a flicker into the way of the dragon, right into the Divine Blades, and the Tempest of Blades is used up, but it's still going to be the brilliance from Chan as Chibi picks up some of the blades on the floor, gets out with the Finch Poise, and it doesn't seem like anyone's going to be dying there in that skirmish. Both teams disengaging, resetting again.
Okay, let's take a look at the items. You can already see the Blade of Hephaestus locked in once again for Fury. Saw him do this earlier. The damage will come online already. Look at him going 1v1 with Nets, but look at already up top. Ooh. I'm not sure if they're going to commit on this, but one thing too for Hide on Bush, I'm looking to see when he's able to actually pump out and get the damage out on some of these targets. Again, the Karina is not a pick you see often right now in competitive play. could make it work. They just, I think they just really want to farm up as much as possible. Claus there for Nets now too to deal with that bombardment range advantage that the Clint will have, so he can heal back up. But still, top side.
Again with the G-Kundo, Fury still able to flicker out of the G-Kundo, not out of the Tempest of Blades though, as Nets just keeps on basic attacking, and now it's Udo who's going to be caught, who's already stolen away some of the damage from the Primal Rat, and now with the Wild Charge, they're still trying to delay the inevitable. Zorn is trying to sandwich Erwin under the tier 1, and now Erwin, where do you have to go? No way the Dragon, actually he does, but he doesn't even need to go for it. Erwin flickers back out, and Udo gets baited in, right into Chance. Chaos saw the flicker as well, chasing Chibi down to secure a double kill up top in the tier 1.
Great play, great response. Chan as well. This is what happened to them in the previous game when he was on the Eve, right? He got 2 kills early on, and he was able to really help the damage profile and the team for Entity7, and that's going to be them taking this turtle, possibly.
Penalty zone, locking 2 members up. Soaring goes over to G-Kundo as well with Retribution, still comes out on the hide on Bush. Still, Sapat's going to hammer down as Chan goes over the Chaos Assault. And now Chibi goes over re-engage, gets knocked up 2 times by the Wild Charge, and the Earth Shatter still follows through, and it's going to be Marquinhos that gets picked off by Sapat. Zorn again forced to flicker out with the Shadow Assault, not connecting. Good way of the Dragon to disengage, but Udil was still all alone, isolated from the team and taken down. So that was a good trade for Entity7 actually, as Nets is pushing some damage down with the Worldy too. The bounce, last one doesn't hit onto Chan, and he'll be able to escape.
Like, do you feel like Worldy's a good ultimate? Like, do you feel like it's actually impactful?
You know, I mean,
as a gold laner,
as a Bruno player, it's there. It's a ult. It's one of the ults of all time.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? We'll see if the impact is going to be there. Claus, like I said, is already locked in, working on the next item. Sometimes we might even see him. I'm not sure if he's going to rush the next item of Malefic Roar or what the build path is going to be here. But also, Glowing One was picked up. And again, it looks like HomeBois still wants to make a play up here. They got the information that they need. Zorn providing a lot of that. Here they go. Top side. Pushing them out.
And now, wait, Chibi might be going for a raid. The Dragon finds him in the bush, brings him back to Sapat. Baits out the Wild Charge, but now it's going to be Chibi who walks up with the Finch Poise. And it's still going to be Sapat who secures the kill. A defensive Tempest of Blades by Chibi is in the bottom lane. We do see Marquinhos go for a trade, but that's a kill. So Erwin.
Yeah, it's I mean, I'm sitting here thinking about Entity7. What they're able to do at this point. They don't really have an answer just yet for everything being thrown at them. Zorn as well, able to get a lot of these away the Dragons off, whether he has a flicker or not. Hide on Bush, like I'm still waiting to see this Karina come through in the damage department. Chan has been doing a lot of it. And I think, you know, you just buy time for Fury to go ahead and get the items that he needs. So they have to buy some more time. And right now, it looks like, you know, they want to battle out for this 3rd turtle. Chibi's going to start it up. Rest of the team going to go ahead and get situated. They might just let this go, and it looks like they're going to do that, as Hide on Bush is not even near here. So they might just try to get ready for the Lord fights instead. So that's going to be that. Now, 3rd turtle of the game going to the hands of HomeBois. Chibi.
Trying to go for 1v1. Fury getting caught in the Tempest of Blaze. That knockup will catch him, and now Chibi just escapes, leaves him to Udil as he pops into Primal Wrath. But he actually dealt so much damage. Chibi taken very, very low. Sky Piercer already, though. 2nd item as he completes the Berserker's Fury first.
Yep. So already at that point, you know, this is where it gets very threatening. Berserker's Fury allowing him to do a lot of this crit damage and get that off. Zorn, though, Marquinhos, I don't think he's going to pull the trigger on this. The rest of the team coming up.
Good way, the Dragon brings him back all the way. Udil has a Primal Wrath, gets up just a bit, but then Sapat comes in with a hammer. Even with Erwin with a Wild Charge, it will not be able to save him, and Zorn continues the damage. Chan goes in, bad penalty zone by Sapat to lock them out, and Nets just picks up all of those basic attacks to take Fury down. Again, he just respawned Naisu, and it seems they're also going to be able to take the tier 2 up top as well as down below, as Udil just zones Chan away from his own base.
That was crazy. Like, at that point, when he got that 4-man penalty zone off too, he just gets the Winter's Crown, and, you know, he was ready for that initiation. And it just looks like Entity7, they don't have an answer right now. I mean, even Hide on Bush has not been able to do really much anything on the Karina pick at this point. And it looks like they're just going to go ahead and have to turtle up in their base on the defensive and hope that there's enough time to build up here. Because even if they get some type of set, who are they going to set up? Looking at the replay here again, you're going to see it. The hammers come down. The penalty zone is about to be dropped.
Boom.
Even using that Winter's Crown. Boom. It gets multiple members. They follow on through.
Winter's Crown, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I was mentioning. He got the Winter's Crown just to pop the freeze, you know?
Was that more just like freestyle? It didn't look like he needed it.
It did. I feel like he didn't need it, but he was prepped and he readied it, right? So, like, interesting, because Sapat, he even just has an Athena shield, so he's like, my job is literally just to jump in penalty zone. That's it.
He doesn't even have any, like, usually you see a Fury Hammer, right? Like, at least a Fury Hammer. He has nothing. He knows that he's just playing the enabler role here in game number 4. Udil picks up. So Chibi Retri did, but you know, Udil picked it up. Retri got Udil.
You know, they're having a battle amongst themselves, I guess, you know? But, yeah, I think part of this is just... And this is crazy. Damage dealt. He's second with this defensive build for Sepot, who is somehow a second in damage.
That's the base damage, man.
That's the base damage. This is the different type of Rizzler you guys are seeing right now. Damage taken too. Like I said, Entity7. You know, Irwin is trying to do his best, but even if you get some type of setup, I just feel like they don't have enough in terms of damage, which is weird because you're talking about a Lunox who had 2 early kills, but they're lacking in the department of where's the Karina? Where can you pump out the damage you're looking for in the jungle? But they're going to find themselves on the defense. Nice Guardian's Bear. Shields are going to pop, though.
So, man, the Holy Defense was already baited down in the mid lane and the bottom lane as well now. As that Cannon just goes into towards the base turret. They're going to be able to take that away. Penalty zone by Saphan. Only on to 1. The Winter's Crown saves him for a bit as Marquinhos pops in time. Rat in the back line. What happened to GB, who dove in way too deep, gets picked off, and now it's Saphan and GB taken out. Now a full re-engage coming in from Chan as he pops in the Brilliance, flickers forward. 3 members down, traded in for a base turret in the mid lane.
Hey, that's Entity7 answering the question. I was like, where is the Karina? I don't know, Hideout Bush got a kill there, but it could have been actually more devastating. He's already got that Feather of Heaven and Starlium Scythe. Looks like he's going to Holy Crystal next, so maybe this is the makings of a turnaround for Entity7 in this game. They still have, you know, 4,000 gold deficit to work against, but they're going to be able to get some space now on the map, which is good for them. But look at Zorn.
Again into the back line with the way the Dragon finds Fury out of all of them. Kicks him back right into Chibi as he picks up the Sky Piercer execute. And now it's Erwin next in the chopping block. Say goodbye to him as he picks up a double. Turn around again. And it seems for Zorn, he's walking up all that effort just to recall in the faces of Entity7.
Oh man, they're doing it again. And you know, just when you think like, okay, Entity7 able to get something out of that, then they get just executed. Also a Blade of Despair now, BOD locked in for Chibi. They're gonna need those immortalities for Entity7. No Lord available just yet, you know, 30 seconds away or so, but it looks like they're going to work on this bottom turret as Nets knocks it down. This is what Bruno's really good at too, just decimating these turrets, getting them down quickly. But with that, HomeBois will probably just be the discipline route, wait for this Lord to spawn up. For Entity7, I'm wondering if they are able to actually somehow contest, or if the game plan is just going to be, you know what, let's defend in the base. We were able to do it previously. Chan hasn't died yet, playing really well with the Brilliances that's available with this Lunox. Does just pick up the Wishing Lantern, so maybe the plan for Entity7 is really to find a pickoff if they can. It looks like they are venturing outside of the base. They might even look for Udil here, unless... Look at this.
Look at Zorn.
Zorn in the mid, conceal.
Udil leads it out. He's able to cancel out that. Winter Crown as well. Baited out. Now it's going to be the re-engage. Coming to the back line with the Brilliance popped in. Penalty zone to lock Fury, and he's all isolated. Erwin flickers forward, gets the wild charge away, and a Dragon as well to bring Hideout Bush right into Udil. Chan gets a few of the kills. Chibi now with a finish point, trying to go for maybe, possibly, another Maniac. Chibi going to be forced to respect that damage. Nets dashing forward, sliding tackle right into Chan, but he does have that Brilliance to escape once again. HomeBois very low. Marquinhos goes from the Earth Shatter, but Chan doesn't have the Chaos Assault, not anymore. He has Onward, goes in. Marquinhos decimated here, and Chan's going to be next in the chopping block as Nets jumps in all the way, picks up a few of those turret shots, and finally, GB shuts him down, shutting the dreams of Entity7 as they qualify to the main stage of MSC.
And HomeBois will do it, only losing one game throughout the entire wild card here as they move on forward to join the teams for the group stage here. A great showing though from Entity7. You got to give it up to them, making waves, making people that doubted them to get to this point. They managed to get here, and they put on a good show for the grand final, but ultimately HomeBois, with their the play style they have, man, the decisiveness that comes through, and the fact that now again a Ling in game number 4, just monstrous here for HomeBois as they get ready. Again, a good preview of what we saw. What do we got going on here? We got some signatures, of course, going out.
What is this?
What is this?
I think it might be like a signature to participate in main stage. I don't know.
You gotta sign your way now to the group stage.
I guess they've officially made it to the Esports World Cup MSC, so there you go. A few signatures from some of the players, or all of the players rather, here. Udil gonna sign as well there. You guys want to copy those signatures? I'm joking. You guys can see it there, but you can see they've all qualified. They've made it to the main stage. HomeBois welcome them to Group C, together with Team Spirit, Twisted Minds, and Liquid Echo.
Can't wait to see them, man. Of course, in the group stage. It was great to see how they adjusted to the current kind of meta forming here, of course, throughout the wildcard stage. And like I said, Entity7 was the only team to go ahead and give them that loss. And I feel like even some of these games, they wanted to, even if you look at the highlights here, Entity7 had some good moments throughout the entire series. Not just in this game, not just in the game that they won against HomeBois, but they had some really good moments against a team like this, which, again, you got to consider the fact that the team of Entity7 coming together before their league started, and relatively still, an up-and-coming region that has a very distinctive play style, but unfortunately for them, against a team like HomeBois, who has gone through the ringer time and time again in Malaysia, is now here, and very great decisive victory for them in this series. But again, big shout-outs to Entity7 getting to the grand final here, making it through all the wild things that they had to get through during their group stage, going undefeated. And, at the end of the day, one team only gets to go forward to the main event, to the group stage here. So, great to hear. I'm really wondering, for HomeBois specifically, how it feels to have this kind of meta for, I think it really...